I want you to start by drawing this up. I want you to think about focus. And I want here family. I want you to think faith. I want you to think forward. And I want you to think fear. Unfortunately, there's a lot of this. Now, understand something about leaders. Leaders understand how not to focus on this. Now, fear is healthy. Fear is not a bad thing. Fear is what tells me, hey, you know what? You better look both ways before you cross the street. Fear is what tells me, all right, you better put a parachute on before you jump out of an aircraft. Fear is a healthy thing if it's managed properly. There is no such thing as a life without fear. A life without fear would be a really weird life. There is no such thing as life without fear. We all have certain fears. However, fear needs to be managed because fear brings that fight or that flight. Now, since we can't fly, we're all locked in together, that fear transfers into fight. And we start getting cranky, we start getting grumpy, we start getting snappy, we start acting really weird around the people around us, and the next thing you know, they don't want to be around us anymore. So be careful with the fear, leaders, because it does make a difference, even though we don't realize it is. But we have to manage it. It's healthy, we know it's out there, but we got to manage it. So I want you to do some things for me today as you go through tonight. First, I want you to identify, and I want you to take a few minutes, sit down and write it out. Identify what you fear. Yeah, I know, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, but identify what you fear, and then I want you to write down something else. What can you control? Because you know what? There's a big difference between the two. Now, once you've done that, you have a choice as to where this guy right here goes. You can focus in on what you fear and you cannot control, or you can focus in on what you can. Leaders understand that they focus family, faith, and forward. And that's where I want your eyes to go. I want you to make this list tonight. Then I want you to think about your faith. Because for me, my faith, and in a minute I'm going to talk about thinking forward, because you got another list I need you to make over here in a minute. But in our case, in my case, my family's case, my wife's case, our faith is grounded in Jesus Christ. So we know, in our case, He controls tomorrow. And our faith is what binds our family. But my focus as a leader has to be on leading them, trusting this, and focusing on this, on the forward. And when I think forward, I like to think about where I'm going. This is a time of reflection. I told you we have that reflection time every morning. Lots of things to think about. For me, that reflection time is a grounding of my faith, but it's something else too. I am thinking forward because leaders are always thinking about where we're going. I'm not worried about where I've been. I'm worried about where I'm going. I've already identified what I can't control and what I fear. I can't control that, but I can focus on what I can control, and that now leads me to think about, okay, where am I going and what can I do about what I can control? A lot of us are struggling right now because our profession may or may not be certain. But your profession was never your passion. And it's a good time now to think about each of these. Where are you going professionally? Would you like to do some more school? Maybe some resources you can take advantage of. This is your meditation time. But can I challenge you with something else? I want you to start thinking about this. Where am I going? Where's my family going? If you still have a business, where's my business going? That's a profession. But don't get too confused. This is a good time to start focusing on where do I want to go in my life? What would I like to see myself doing 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now? Because remember what I said last time. There will be a tomorrow and you will wake up. I went through a series, and I won't describe today, where I did have a period of time we thought I was terminal and I would not have a tomorrow. And I woke up on my 50th birthday and realized, guess what? I've got a tomorrow. Find this, folks. Write it down. Write down what you fear. Write down what you control. Write down your professional forward. Write down your passion forward. Your profession fuels your passion. It's great if they come together, but if they don't, this is the funding for this. And folks, focus in right now on these three things. You can make a difference right now. That is what a leader does. I'll see you next time.